conductor then for going through our system locally and coming out.
So we had a...
I'd like to respond to this.
It's a scandal, isn't it?
Yes.
Who wanted me to sit here? Why was I given this seat now? But one of the biggest scandals, and I'm a bit tired of Neil blaming Simon for national cuts and Simon blaming Neil for local cuts and then going backwards and forwards. But one of the biggest scandals for both Simon and Neil in this borough is the social cleansing of the estates in Southwark. First the Haygate, and then they're crashing through the Aylesbury. There was a ballot of the residents on the Aylesbury and they voted no. They said they wanted to stay on the estate, maybe a bit of refurbishment on the windows and the doors and the kitchen, but they didn't want to be moved and be socially cleansed, and therefore for the community to be smashed up in the way that Neil is voting for the social cleansing of the Aylesbury estate, and it's a big scandal, and it should stop, and they should stop doing what they're doing around social cleansing. We defend council housing, so we don't just build houses, we build council houses rather than this so-called affordable that you and I can't afford. I call for rent control. The spiraling in the private sector. And the last time I asked Simon a question, he said it's not in his manifesto. Maybe he might tell us now whether rent control is actually in the, well, who reads the Lib Dem manifesto? and the right to buy. I was a councillor for us in 1986 to 2002 in Rector. The right to buy is a scandal because they remove council housing and they don't build new ones. So I will scrap the right to buy, and I work for a housing association. And this new plan to bring in right to buy in housing association is wrong. We scrap the bedroom tax. Simon had 8 times to vote against it in the House, and he voted for the bedroom tax. Stop the evictions and the homelessness that's going on at the moment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Kingsley.
Actually, on the Aylesbury, the people who are moving are coming back. There will be more council and social housing on that site than there is now when it's finished. So let's not be confused. And if you want to talk about the Haygate, and this is before I was a council when it was emptied, again there will be council housing and social rent on that.
79 houses.
It's not enough.
1,200 houses.
And I would agree that it is not enough, and we need. And I certainly didn't vote for it. It was before I was a councillor, but my point is, I'm agreeing, I think, that we need more council housing, right? And Southwark Council has the biggest council house building programme anywhere in the country. The issues on the Aylesbury around asbestos, if you want to talk about it in detail afterwards, I'm quite happy to. But coming on to the council house building, so 11,000 council homes is Southwark Council's pledge, and I was wrong. I can take you to the sites locally. Anyone who wants to join me for a walk locally can.
In 30 years.
The Willow Walk site behind the Old Kent Road Tesco, 75 council homes opening right now. And on Long Lane, if any of you are familiar locally, near Borough Tube Station, there is another site where council housing is being built. It's being built in my ward. The danger is we do lose it under another Tory, Cameron Clegg coalition, and on right to buy. That's where Simon has supported. Southwark Council has lost more homes through the right to buy process than the void selling off those that are beyond repair in the council's consideration. So that's where we've lost property. It is damaging, and what Labour are committed to is making sure that councils get more responsibilities to be able to say, actually, we can't replace with the numbers we need. And you've heard about, we've got a waiting list of 20,000. So actually, I think Southwark would be one of those councils, and I think it's a London Council adopted position, cross-party position, where we're seeking the powers to say, actually, we can't sell anymore because we can't meet the demand we have right now. And I think that's a much better position than just looking to flog more of it off.
The question's been asked 1,000 times at the town hall forum. What is affordable? What does it mean? There's calculations from the experts and developers and council officers. But the reality is, in this term, forget about percentages, in this term, Michael, born and bred in Rodway, She's now a fully qualified nurse, went through a schooling system in our area. Her boyfriend's an engineer at the BBC, born on the Hustings estate. So good luck to them for going through our system locally and coming out the other end with fantastic jobs. They are living with me. In reality, they cannot afford, just across the road from where I live, downtown, Simon Mums as well, Barrows have just put their prices up again on the fourth phase of development. A one-bedroom studio flat is just under 300 grand. A one-bedroom flat is 325 grand. A two-bedroom flat is 565,000. 80% of that is affordable, but it's not affordable to people born and bred in the area that should come first.
Okay, thank you. So your question is, what is the definition?
What is the definition of affordable?
Who do you want to hear from?
Percentage with this money.
Okay.
Okay, Steve, I know this show. I've been helping loads of couples in the position. Just quickly start, just do a list of stuff because there's a bigger debate. Firstly, we need to build loads and loads more houses across the country. In London, 50-odd thousand a year is what we reckon. The actual houses, you can get a 3-bedroom house built for under 100 grand. The actual building costs, the actual material, it's not the building costs, it's the land. Secondly, I think we need to make sure that for the definition, it's obviously, you look at the average wage, which should be the starting point. And at the moment there are 3 sorts of rent. Social rent, which is the council rent, which is subsidised, which actually is a bit below what the average wage is. Affordable in London is 60% of market rent, which is above what the average wage is, and that doesn't become affordable. The only solution is to encourage housing associations, and there are some good ones, who are willing to buy for sale and cross-subsidise. They are building more and more like L&Q, which is actually at own council rents. And we want to change the Treasury rules, which would allow councils to borrow off their assets without counting as public sector borrowing requirements. And that way councils would have far more money to come in to build the sort of houses that your family want. Key workers for people like young nurses recruited locally is the last thing. We used to have them, we should have them, but people are doing a job that's a community job in the public service for the first 5 years after they qualify.
Thank you, Simon. You?
Quite simply, a lot of what's described as affordable is unaffordable. It's a sad truth. And we've seen in Bermondsey and Southwark specifically, the Help to Buy government scheme that has run under this government has not been able to help a single person because the costs here are too high. And it is Labour that go into this election committed to challenging that through the house building programme, but also support for councils that we talked about already, and through the Future Homes Fund. So using the Help to Buy ISAs that the government set up to fund more house building, to make sure we do have the affordable housing that we need, and that includes having the council housing that we need. And if you know, Southwark Council's programme here is the largest anywhere in the country. We are trying to meet need. We don't have a government working in partnership with us, We don't have a government working in partnership with us. We desperately need a Labour government that's committed to the council and social housing that we need, not another.
What is affordable? The question was, what is affordable?
Well, I'm saying it's too high, given the examples you had and the experience that me and my wife have. That we have struggled to find anywhere that we can afford to buy. Neither of us is on, low income.
It's affordable housing. I only speak English. That's the only language I speak, and therefore I think I have a way of using it. But I think affordable housing is an abuse of the Queen's English, and there's no such thing as affordable housing. And we should stop saying things like that. We need to stop all the social cleansing that's going on. We need to scrap the bedroom tax. We need to build council houses. That's what's the answer to the question you raised. We need to stop all the evictions, and people should have a place to sleep tonight without having to worry about that. We need to scrap the right to buy. But crucially, we need to stop austerity. We need to stop chopping people's legs off. We need to stop closing our libraries. And we need to shift the emphasis from austerity to growth, invest in jobs, people pay taxes, the economy will grow. This rich country does not have to make one single cut.
Okay, thank you, Kingsley.